Welcome to my E3 wish list for Nintendo in 2018. I figure everyone else is looking at, the rumors and all the other stuff. I figure it'd be a little bit more fun to take a look at what Nintendo, what kind of wild card things Nintendo could pull out that I'm personally kind of looking forward to. One of the big rumors is flying around. I don't know how true it is, but it's been about an F-Zero being developed by Platinum Games. I'm actually not against this idea. I think it's a pretty sweet idea, but I'd take it a step further. I think we should have, if Platinum's handling it, how about a racing brawler hybrid? Now, I know that sounds really weird, but if you think about it, the bulk of people, because F-Zero has been out of the limelight for so long, the bulk of people who know about F-Zero know about it more from the Smash Brothers series because of Captain Falcon, Falcon Punch. So the idea is doing kind of an open world where you run around with Falcon and you can do all of his moves from Smash, and it's kind of like a brawling segment. You do that for, maybe leveling up your character or fighting for parts or something. And then you can go to like garages, soup up your cars or your hovercrafts, and then take them out on different circuits. Have your actual racing, you're upgrading to the racing portion being done through fighting and beating stuff up. And I just think it would be an interesting idea, and it would definitely, because Miyamoto has always said, unless there's like a new idea, he doesn't really want to do anything with F-Zero, and he feels like it's kind of, run its course. I think this is something that could really mix things up, and Platinum would be perfect for the brawling segment. I mean, hell, if you want to, bring another company in, you could have a company like Sumo Digital handling or helping out with the racing portion of it. That could be a really interesting idea. Next up, there's been a lot of talks about a Mario Sunshine DLC for Mario Odyssey. I really dig that idea, but another idea that I think would be cool to take it even a step further, maybe release that DLC free or cheap and, get people jazzed up for it, and then do a full-blown Super Mario Sunshine HD for the Switch. I'm talking go back, get that camera fixed up, and tweaked, flesh out the content that, because it's notorious that game had a lot of cut content for time. So I say go back, look at that content, and see what you can put back in, whether it's new worlds, bonuses, new boss fights, anything along those lines, and also take a chance to kind of pull back on certain elements that pissed people off, like the whole getting Yoshi and, traveling out on the boat and island hopping just to get to that slide with the dissolving leaf and that red coin challenge, which I don't think anyone actually liked. That was just a pain in the ass for, completionists who wanted to 100% the game. Next up, how about Kid Icarus Uprising HD? That game was awesome on the 3DS, but its control scheme alienated a lot of people. And I think that since you've got gyro controls on the Switch, and you can even do kind of the Wii Remote style of control, that would be a perfect place to bring that game back. And hell, you'd be able to test the grounds and see if, Kid Icarus is ripe for, a new title on top of that. It'd be a great way to gauge interest, and it would be a great way for that game to kind of, stretch its legs and really find an audience, especially with its online multiplayer. If you did that and linked it in with Nintendo's new online service, that would be sweet as hell. This one is a real long shot, but a Luigi's Mansion 3 I feel like this is too early this year, but even if we got like a teaser for it or some sort of like stinger image or something, just a hint that it might be in the background and Nintendo's kind of working on it. Although I feel like we might, if we were to hear about it, it'd be like later this year or early next year. But with the Luigi's Mansion 1 port coming to the 3DS, I think it'd be a great time to, you know, really stretch that series' legs and, you know, bring it back, because I love the Luigi Mansion series. With EA shitting the bed with Star Wars Battlefront, and we haven't heard anything about any new Star Wars games, I feel like Disney has kind of pulled back, and they may actually break their contract with EA or severely limit it. And if that's the case, I want to see Star Wars Rogue Leaders HD for the Switch. Okay, this is that game that combined, Rogue Leader and Rebel Strike from the GameCube, had motion controls, had Mii support, had real-time lightsaber duels, the controls with motion, like the whole 9 yards. And especially with the HD Rumble, that'd be great with the lightsaber. You know, Factor 5 even said, as was it November of last year, that they would be willing to do it. I say that Disney should say, hey, let's get those guys and let's put that game into production and let's get it on the Switch. I would buy that day one. I think anyone would, and I think they'd be surprised at just how many people would want that, as opposed to another Battlefront that rapes your wallet for, you know, DLC and microtransactions and loot boxes. This is kind of a combo, but the same thing. Factor 5 had also worked on another game for the Wii called Wii Fly. Okay? I would love to see that come back, or have that morphed into a new Pilot Wings game. Pilot Wings is a personal passion franchise for me. I absolutely love that series. I hate the fact that it doesn't get the love that it deserves. But with motion controls on the Switch and the portability, and you can even throw some multiplayer elements in there, I would really be on board to see the Pilot Wings series come back. I'd really like to see multiplayer be implemented and expand out the exploration element and give, instead of like the single island that they had in Pilot Wings Resort for the 3DS, I would like to see more of like the multiple locations like Pilot Wings 64, where you had massive environments, tons of objectives, but you had like the little states and the sea island from Star Tropics. Like, that would be a really cool idea, and I would love to see that come back. But if you couldn't, some variation or rebirth of Wii Fly. I think that would be a great game, and it would be a really fun, especially with the real time and the real time environment where you could fly around the entire globe and the weather changing. I mean, they could still pull from the internet to actually get that information if they wanted to throw it in there. These are more questions as opposed to, you know, wish lists, but why haven't we seen the Kingdom Hearts series come to the Switch? Am I the only one who thinks that this is a huge missed opportunity? I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3, while it looks good, I think very little work in downscaling that. You could get that running on the Switch with no problem. And it would be a really quick job to take the Kingdom Hearts HD series that they did on the PS3 and the PS4 and port those over to the Switch. I mean, I can't think of a single Kingdom Hearts fan who wouldn't love to have that shit on the go. And you could even throw in the DS titles, since I'm sure there was some licensing stuff as to why those never appeared on those collections, and it was just the cinematics. It's also a very odd thing. It's always stuck out of my mind because I think almost 50% of the series has appeared on Nintendo handhelds. So the fact that Square consistently ignores Nintendo when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts series, like the mainline ones, it's really confusing, especially with Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS. I mean, that was a direct prequel to the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 3. So why, like, I understand in the past why they didn't do it on the Wii or the Wii U, but it just seems really odd that they haven't gone for it on the Switch. Maybe it's a long shot, but maybe we might hear something about that this year. Another one I would like to see, this is more me because I love the series, but I feel like there's a couple titles that you could bring over. Earth Defense Force. I love the EDF series. I played the shit out of it on the 360. And I know that, they make them primarily for the Sony systems now with the PS3 and specifically the PS4. But I would like to see some of the older ones, upgraded and brought onto the Switch. You could do local wireless, local multiplayer with split screen. I feel like the Switch could easily handle some of the older titles, and you could really juice them up graphically. And, hell, even throw in some gyro aiming. I think that would be a really sweet title to throw on there. And last but not least, Zelda 2. I know there's rumors of them doing a Link to the Past remake on the 3DS, using the engine from A Link Between Worlds, and that's cool. I'd be there day one, but much like Metroid 2, Zelda 2 is the black sheep of the family, and Metroid 2 got a really bitchin' remake or update or whatever. I would like to see, and it doesn't even have, if you want to throw it on the DS, that's cool, but I personally think it would be really cool to see on the Switch. And use the 2D, 3D, and where you got 3D graphics and elements, but it's like on a 2D plane to kind of keep the spirit of the original, flesh out your dungeons a little bit more. It would come off far more as like a Metroidvania, but I think that would be amazing, and that is a title that deserves a second shot. Like, I know it was that off period where you had the original NES game and then the sequel would go batshit and go off the rails and do something different, like Castlevania 2, Mario 2, Zelda 2, like, that was a cool, exciting time. While those titles, may be divisive among fans, it at least showed that the series could go in different directions. And since then, a lot, while they have gone in different directions, that's one that I think would be really interesting and people would be really excited to see if you, revisited that chunk of the timeline. So by all means, Nintendo, take these ideas, take these suggestions, and run with them. Hell, I'll do more videos that flesh out the entire idea of what I got as to where you can go with it. And if you feel like it, you can run with it. Okay, guys. Well, let's see what happens at this year's E3. Later.